sorry.
Are you getting the video all set up?
Hey! I'm gonna turn it this way and see what happens. Make a video. I'm gonna record it over here.
Okay. We're gonna record over here.
Okay.
All right, deal. Welcome to Windy City Fantasy Football, week
1, 0.
What's 1-0?
Me. Timeout.
Week 10.
Week 10.
Week 10.
The name of this episode is Don't Play With Your Lightsaber at the Table. These are questions.
That's not a question.
These are answers.
Statements.
This is advice that everyone should take. Don't play with your lightsaber at the table. Play with it elsewhere.
Mommy, what is your address? Mommy?
As the little
Hey,
Jedi
Mommy.
intends. Hey.
Turn around. Say hi to everybody.
Hi. Mommy, what is your address?
Magic. Moving on.
How did everybody do last
Mommy,
week,
where's
I
the
wonder?
coloring?
Well, now I have answers.
Where's the flower?
Oh my goodness. It's almost as if Brown Bear is on a winning streak of sorts.
Yeah.
He walked out victorious against Jen. He scored 114 points to Jen's 86.9. He did not have a good week. But,
It's not fair.
well, Lindsay defeated me. She had 108.2 to my 104.2. Came down to Dak and Michael Gallup in the Dallas game, and well, Dak did score more points. So, good job, Lindsay. All right. Delaney also won a close one over Rick. Delaney had 111.8 to Rick's 109.6. So, lots of games that actually came in a little closer. Not this one, though. Battle of the Brothers. Sam had 177.8. Austin only got a meager 112.1. So
The Sam Aints, as he likes. I think he's going to roll with the bad luck Sam Aints going forward.
that's a very apt comparison because much like the actual Saints, Sam does really, really well in the regular season and finds a way to choke out in the playoffs.
Ouch. Okay.
What? Only one more?
In the game of Newbie versus Sue, Sue versus Carson, Sue got 164.8 and did win versus Carson's 140.3. And
What?
Emily
Only
has put
one
together some
more.
wins now. Emily 126.2 versus Michaela 114.8.
No, we're still
So
on
the
6.
standings, as far as the playoffs are concerned, actually didn't change at all because the top 4 teams, the top 3 teams won.
Wait, where was
and
it?
then the team that's in 4th place
Lost.
lost, but there's
Everybody else
still
did
the
too.
one. There was the 1 game window gap between
Well,
us.
but you and
the
Rick
4th.
lost too.
So
There's still a 1 game gap.
you're managing to stay alive, even though your best efforts to thwart that.
But then my schedule sucks now. So I lost 2, won 5, and lost 2. And my next 3 games are versus the 3, 2, and 1 ranks. So,
Oh,
Austin.
boo-hoo, we all play the same people.
but not in a row like that. I have to play Lindsay, Delaney, and Sam like boom, boom, boom to finish like the regular season out. So
Hey,
that's not so
the
good.
good teams got to show up when they need to. So, got to show up when you need to.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. So, Yeah. Next is coulda, shoulda, woulda. I was just gonna go on and rant about how I hate the Vikings, but we can just skip that.
No, this is a bear-centric fantasy football podcast. If you have a Vikings rant, you might as well go ahead.
All right. Well, I knew better than to play Adam Thielen because he had been hurt. But I'm thinking the Vikings are gonna have to play him. They're not that good, really, without him and Diggs kind of rely on each other. Neither one of them does very good in a game where the other one isn't in it. Only one of them can shine at a time, but they both have to be in the game for them to be any good. Thielen played like 2 snaps. I just scared the cat. 2 snaps before re-aggravating himself. It's frustrating. I really hate the Vikings. I didn't want them to win anyway against the Chiefs just because I really want to keep the AFC interesting. But F the Vikings. And it's terrible because we live in a state where everyone loves them.
And this has been your trashing on the Minnesota Vikings moment, brought to you by the Windy City Fantasy Football League show.
Okay, back on track then to coulda, shoulda, woulda. You over there, pocket candy.
I don't think you quite understand the amount of extra Halloween candy that we have. I have pocket candy in all pockets. All pockets.
So yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You played your mustached wonder, and he stayed on the plane in Jacksonville. He forgot to go to London.
Yeah, I don't know if crossing an ocean just threw off his whole southern vibe,
Magic.
or if he was confused by the
time change,
the air, the time change, the funny accents. I'm not really sure, but
yeah, he didn't show up. And Jameis Winston did. Jameis Winston would have gotten you 20.2 points, and Mr.
Well, I mean, he wants to eat W's. His glass is half full of air.
That was pretty funny. If you guys don't know what we're talking about,
I don't know.
Jameis Winston said no matter if the glass is half full or half empty, it's half full of air. Absolutely intellectual there. Anyway, so he would have gotten you 20.2 and then you would have won. So, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
That does fit the moniker of this segment.
It does. Austin, I mean, there's nothing he could have done to take down Sam, but he did have Marvin Jones from Detroit on his bench, who had 29.6 points. Sue has the up-and-coming Singletary, Devin Singletary from Buffalo.
Yes.
Got 23 points on her bench. And Michaela, I mean, it's not your fault. I know you played the wrong quarterback. But Kyler Murray hasn't really been doing it for you, and there was no reason to know that he was going to show up so good the other night. And
there's no way to predict an
that
injury
Jacoby
either.
Brissett's going to get hurt either. So, yes, Kyler Murray had 23, and Jacoby Brissett got you like 1.8 or something. But you can't really predict that. Also, the Steelers D would have gotten you 19 points. So,
well, I mean, it's why fantasy football is frustrating. It's why we love it so darn much, is that we never know when to make the right call. There's only like
although
one...
you should totally let Amber set your picks, because that sounded funny. Although I don't... You can give it a try.
What could it hurt at this point?
Give it a try. So. Okay. Big outs.
That's not good.
We're animated this week, folks.
Do you have any more pocket candy?
Do I have any more pocket candy? Do I have any more pocket candy? Alan.
What are those? Alan, you want some, or you gotta put the game down?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Do I have any more pocket candy?
What are those?
That's funny.
M&M's.
Oh, okay. Do you like those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would you like some candy?
No, I'm good for right now. I'll let you know that. I'm gonna keep checking in on the pocket candy status.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Booms, busts, and big outs. So I just kind of went down the list that ESPN had. It was kind of fun.
Okay.
So McCaffrey is still a boom. He is not slowing down. He is making a case to be an MVP. Here's an interesting stat for you. Who is unexpectedly the number 2 scoring wide receiver in fantasy?
Pocket candy.
Yeah, pocket can.
Should be his nickname.
Mike Evans could probably deal with the pocket candy nickname.
I'm starting a campaign. Mike Evans' new nickname is Pocket Candy.
And does pocket candy have a side pocket, like left and right Twix? Because Chris Godwin is right there with him. They are like a 1-2 punch, is the way that ESPN put it.
It could be left Twix, right Twix.
There we go. We're marketing this. So, anyway, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both had good weeks. Chris Godwin had Tyler Lockett had his career best game. Lamar Jackson stood up amazingly to the Pats D. I don't think many people saw that coming. In fact, like all of my fantasy news and stuff that it tries to send you, the notifications, everybody said don't play Lamar Jackson, and I don't really have a backup. So
Your hand was forced.
I was like, I'd have to roll with it. But even Lamar Jackson couldn't save my week. But he tried really hard. He did really, really well. So
He did.
And then, back to Minshew. Minshew definitely had some struggles.
Yeah, he had. I think his touchdown to turnover rate is I think it's 12-4. I think something like that. But all 4 of his turnovers happened in that game in London. So, yeah,
and
he's very scared of Europe, apparently.
And as such, Nick Foles will take over on November 17th at Indy, they announced.
Well, I mean, they're also paying him a lot of money, so it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Devin Singletary, who we mentioned earlier, is stepping up, and they think it's becoming the future of the Bills. They do still have a fairly well-known running back known as Frank Gore. I had him on my fantasy team. Fun fact, back when I was pregnant with Alan, and he was on the 49ers. That was a while ago. But
I'm still playing.
Yeah, but Devin Singletary, they think, is going to step up and become the future of the Buffalo Bills running game. Russell Wilson also was making a case for him being the MVP this season. He has been playing lights out, which is also really good to see. Because, he had a few good years, and then he kind of...
The team trailed off as they were getting older and
regressed
didn't have the
some.
money to pay everybody for the Super Bowl team, so...
But it's like they said, Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady and all them, they're throwing to, big-name players. A lot of us can't really name who Russell Wilson is throwing to.
Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
But overall, they're not household names.
They will be.
Someday.
No, if Russell Wilson keeps this up, they will be.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. Josh Jacobs also had a breakout week.
Yeah, he's looking like he's worthy of the first round pick that the Raiders spent on him.
Somebody has to run this.
We don't need the music right now. We'll let you know when we do, okay? You just eat your M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, they're Daddy's M&M's.
Oh, Daddy's M&M's, excuse me. Daddy's pocket candy M&M's. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
So, I'll get that one. Devonta Adams returned, but he was a bust, as were all of the Packers, which was kind of fun to see them get kicked around by KC.
Yeah, we'll see.
Really, we're going to go on a Vikings rant, but not a We Hate Green Bay rant? We just leave those for Jameson?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Zach Ertz had his first really good game of the year. I think that was his first touchdown since week 2.
Yeah, and he basically had to shove his defender off of him in order to get it.
Yeah.
Watch the tape.
Jalen Samuels had a career game starting for James Conner, who was hurt, which was good to see. Good to see that it seems like Pittsburgh has the running back. They've got that position solid.
They've got an offensive line that works.
Yeah.
Unlike the Bears.
The Bears. They also made the list with Allen Robinson. He's trending down.
Allen Robinson? You mean me?
No, what's your name?
Allen Robinson.
No, what's your name?
Allen Stephen Little Boy Clock.
Allen Stephen Little Boy Clocks, that's right. And David Montgomery's trending up. He is a bright spot.
I mean, yes. Everybody seems insistent now to get the running attack going. However, it wasn't against Philly. It was the game before against the Chargers, I believe, where they had 4 shots at a goal line score and couldn't punch it in, even with David Montgomery. Mm-hmm. So it's good that he can do all the running between the 10s, but,
it's a start.
There's a lot of things that need to be fixed on that team before they'll be any good.
That almost became couch candy.
It's brown. Just like this couch. Huh?
That's a good
Good observation of your colors.
Oh, this is yours? Oh, okay.
How much chocolate do you need?
Okay, well, that one's yours. Okay.
Quick, get it! 5-second rule!
Well, I'm just gonna...
You got it covered.
I got it covered.
All right, so moving on. There were some big outs. Some of the words, Jen, words.
Talking's hard.
It sometimes is talking hard when there's all this pocket candy around.
Maybe that's my nickname.
So Cam Newton was placed on IR for the rest of the season. He is done. So how many games did he play? 1? 2?
2.
2. So I mean he's been out, but now he's like officially out for the season. Matt's favorite, Deshaun Jackson, is out again. He has a torn ab muscle and is going to be out at least 6 weeks. So that's the rest of our fantasy football season anyway.
Decrepit and fast.
Running backs that we have on our teams that were still possibly questionable at now is James Conner, David Johnson, Alvin Kamara, and Chris Thompson. This is on Wednesday, so a lot could really change, but this is on Fantasy King's injury report right now. I know, I used something different.
Sports betting.
Amari Cooper is questionable. Wide receiver Preston Williams, who was kind of like the lone bright spot for Miami right now, tore his ACL, so he's out for the season.
Ah, good. He won't interrupt their plans then.
I know, to tank. Although, what did Miami do this week?
They won.
What?
Miami can't even tank properly.
Well, it was really who was trying to tank harder.
But the Jets aren't trying to tank.
Or are they?
No, they're not.
Somebody made a pretty good case for it today that they really
They should. That doesn't mean that they are.
I don't know. Somebody made a good case today on ESPN that they were. They're just not being as obvious about it as Miami is.
Well, in that instance, then I guess they're doing a bang-up job. But neither of them is doing better than Cincinnati, so...
But anyway, he was their lone bright spot at wide receiver. He's out. He tore his ACL. Brandon Cooks is questionable.
That was a long way to say that.
Brandon Cooks is questionable. Adam Thielen, nobody cares. Nobody likes. Just...
At least now, next year, you'll know to not trust the app. Or you know...
It wasn't the app's fault. It was my fault. I mean, let's be real. But at least I knew better than to name my team that. Because I had more than one Minnesota person be like, oh, your team name could be hooked on a Thielen. And I'm like, That's clever, but no. No. God, I said no. N'Keal Harry is out. He missed last week, and he's questionable this week. AJ Green, also questionable. Quarterback, as we said, Jacoby.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
Jacoby Brissett got hurt. He hurt his knee when his
Jacoby Brissett hurt his knee.
when his player fell into him. So he's questionable. Their backup was Brian Hoyer. So Indy's having a rough go of it.
My water cup.
Good idea. Joe Flacco is out on IR still.
And apparently that's all the team needed to pull out a victory.
Matt Ryan is questionable, as is Patty Mahomes. Those two very well may play, but they're still questionable at this time. And last but not least, the tight ends, O.J. Howard, Delaney Walker, and Jared Cook are all questionable. Just
Keep that in mind when you're setting up your rosters for the upcoming week. Questionable like what? I'm sorry I cut you off.
like the sour cream you ate with our tacos.
The date on the can is merely a suggestion.
It's a July. Okay, so moving on.
Okay. Before we move on to the next piece of this wonderful little show, I would like to make it known that I now am a true Bears fan.
Oh, yeah? Who did you pick up?
Mitchell Trubisky. Eat that, Jameson.
Why?
I have hope.
You have spent like 3 weeks complaining about him.
Are you getting me mixed up with TV that you watch? Because I don't think anybody's happy with his performance, but the whole team's not playing. This is...
Okay.
Moving on.
True Bears fan here. Put her there.
Pocket Candy is a true Bears fan.
Oh, God. All right, so...
Tear down.
Notable games this week. There's actually some really good division games this week, which is cool. The Thursday game is the Chargers versus the Raiders. Sunday, we've got Detroit versus Chicago.
Oh my goodness, they're going to play 2 weeks in a row again.
Atlanta versus New Orleans.
Actually, no, the year before they played...
On. It's not 2 weeks in a row because there is an in-between week. But there's like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
I have no more pocket candy.
People must think we're so messed up. All right.
It's exactly like last season because they played Detroit, they played a team between, and then they played Detroit again on Thanksgiving. It's the exact same thing that happened last year.
There's more weeks in between, though. There's this week, and then there's 2 weeks, and then there's Thanksgiving. I'm right. All right, so Atlanta versus New Orleans is another division game. The Ravens versus the Bengals is a division game. Do you think the Bengals are going to get their first win?
Hell no.
Oh, well, you never know.
Hey, Mommy.
New York is playing. MetLife Stadium will
Which
be the
New
real
York?
Is there one?
Both of them. It's the Giants versus
where it
Jets.
is.
They're all going to be so confused and disappointed all at once.
Until the Black Cat makes a comeback. Because that was the best part of that game. That Black Cat, I was living for that Black Cat. He was angry. He was like, I don't know how I got here, but I went out. And he did more. He got a touchdown. He got more rushing yards than like a lot of players. He was amazing, the Black Cat. So, he's definitely going to make an appearance at the Giants-Jets game. He's got a Twitter handle now. Like, he is shot to internet stardom. I was laughing so loud I was almost in tears, and Matt comes in and he's like, "What the hell are you laughing at?" So I rewind him to show him the Black Cat, and pretty much that was the look that I got. He was like, "Who cares?" And I was like, "Me, I'm like the whole TV. That's who does."
I want these minutes of my life back.
Sunday Night Football, Minnesota versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys also want the Black Cat back because it really turned their game around for them. The probability of the Cowboys winning went like this. So here's, and then they started to play, and then here's the Black Cat, and then it went back up this way. I stole that from Sarah Spain.
Monday night, Seattle versus San Francisco, the only unbeaten team left in the league. Let's see you fit the Black Cat reference into this game.
I can't.
There you go.
All right, so last, not least, although it looks like you already all are out of pocket candy, so really is last.
I'm getting angry.
This
Let's
week's
finish.
matchups. Lindsay versus me. I had predicted this would be a championship matchup, so we'll see. It still could be. If I lose it, I probably won't be in the playoffs.
You best get a win.
I know. If I lose this, I probably won't get in the playoffs. So there's that. Jameson versus Delaney. Matt versus Sam. Let's see you get a win. Rick versus Carson. This is 2 actual newbies. You tried to say Sue was a newbie earlier. This is an actual newbie. Newbies.
I think the tape will show that that is not the case.
The game of newbie versus Sue.
Probably. He did some bad reference there. Emily is coming off of a win, and she's taking on Austin. So that's exciting. And Sue versus Michaela. Aunt versus niece. Playing to kind of try and come up to maybe get in the playoffs.
A lot of us still have some hope.
There's a lot of us in the middle.
Of...
It's like the top 3, and then there's like me, you, Rick, Michaela, Sue. Like they're all kind of right there. We're really only separated by like 1 to 2 games. So there's still some season.
You are the weak link that needs to be knocked off for somebody to... You got the bullseye on your back.
At least it's pretty.
Alan, do you have anything to add?
Alan, what would you like to add to the conversation here?
Going out.
Well, there's a monster on this way, and Grover said there was a monster. Huh?
All right.
Let that be a lesson to you.
There's a monster coming.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's from Chicago, baby!
Who's that? Who's that?
A monster.
No, but who's on the football?
I see.
For who?
Grover.
Chicago Bears?
Yes, and there's a monster that Grover was talking about.
Oh, yes, Grover was talking about a monster. Goodbye, everybody!
Bye, everybody!
Bye, 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 bye.
Crap! I forgot. We're going through our owner's
Hey,
interview
Mommy,
still.
It's magic. You're telling
And this
me
week we have a very
magic
special
stuff.
interview, so check it out.
Magic.
You better actually ask some serious questions.
Okay, so...
Bye-bye.
No, we're starting the video, son. We're starting the video. It's not a bye-bye. Yes. So...
Here's the championship game preview.
I'm filming him and me. He's gonna kick his milk over. And milk. Anyway, so we're still here, but we took this opportunity because not only did we have the commissioner here, we had one of our first place teams here too. So we took the opportunity to interview somebody who may have an actual chance to win the trophy this year. Not only that, maybe have their second time their name is on the trophy. So yeah. So this is our interview with Lindsay. Okay, Lindsay. Tough questions up ahead.
Here.
What possessed you to pick the team name you picked?
Why is the train gonna go here?
Because I'm like Chicago, and I'm a mom. There you have it.
Yeah.
Deep,
But it's a
cutting
train
insight.
comes
Good job.
in the caboose.
Told you. Told you. If you go back to episode 1, I told you.
Oh.
What are you like? Head dot.
Right.
Get off the table. Get off the table.
Wait, where's the train?
I bet it's getting our food.
I bet it's
We're losing.
It probably
We're losing out on the. Okay, we gotta make this quick. The food's coming, as you can see in the background there.
Quick.
Ew.
All right.
It has our
Oh, no.
food.
So
And
your record
the
thus far
caboose is here.
is 5-1.
Yep.
Okay. How many more teams do you think are actually going to be a challenge for you this season?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. How many more times do you think you're going to be listed into our coulda, shoulda, woulda segment?
Every time.
Alright, mac and cheese.
It's right here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chicken nuggets.
And fries.
Grilled cheese. Thank you. You're welcome. Cheeseburger. Another cheeseburger.
Yum!
Double cheeseburger with bacon.
Yum!
Everything.
Chicken sandwich. Would you like mayo with that?
Yes, please.
Anything else I can get for you guys?
No, that's it.
Thank you, Alan.
Here you go.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay.
There it goes.
Thank you, Crane.
Thank you, train.
All right.
Huh? Yeah, it is.
All righty.
So blow on them a little, okay?
Daddy, can you cool mine off?
Okay. You asked her a question.
Championship game preview right here.
Okay. That's not a question, but do you have a question?
No, it's a statement.
Because you're host.
I am the host. What do you look forward to the most in our videos every week?
The cats.
I figured. I do too. Did you like R2 as a mustache last week? He was really happy about it. You guys haven't seen Trooper yet this year, though, have you? He's kind of wiry. Okay, last but not least, if you could have drafted any other player other than Antonio Brown, since that didn't work out so well for you, who would it be?
Not Mitch Trubisky.
Well, I mean, yeah. Good call.
Cutting insight.
Probably McCaffrey. He's doing amazing.
Yes, yes. Matthew has much the same woe. He was gone much before it got to me, so I don't have to say that I passed him up.
I was going to say, there's only two people that really have anything to really complain about because
What?
two people didn't pick him,
Is the train
and then Sam swooped in and
Are you counting Emily?
yes,
Then I'll get
me and Emily,
Yeah, but she's on auto pick.
But who did it auto pick before?
Saquon.
Oh, okay.
Do you have the back? Look your hand. Icky.
Stop touching the rails.
Yeah, don't touch that, okay? It's dirty.
All right. Well, that's probably about it.
All right. So
Chicago
we've
mom.
got kids,
Chicago mom
children,
over there.
food,
Living up to her name
food.
as the mom.
Yes. All right. Thank you for the wonderful interview.
I